bum 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 bum
Drama.
bum. Ba-ba-da-ba-dun,
Action.
dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, ba-dum, bam, bum,
Comedy.
ba-dum, tss, bum, ba-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun,
Palace intrigue. Story Squad presents Clash of the Pencils.
Wow. Welcome back, folks. It's a breezy evening here in Milford, Delaware. We've got some great story matchups for you today. We're going to recap all the highlights of the latest Clash of the Pencils action. I'm Tom Sherman. I'll be your host tonight. We're here, as we are every night, to review the top 3 Clash of the Pencils submissions from around the net, get the latest scores, see who's atop the leaderboard, and generally have a little bit of fun. We field anywhere from 0s to 10s of submissions daily, which then get run through a high-tech computer called Storybot 3000, which uses, among other things, crocodile tears to analyze every story. We then take Storybot's top 3 picks and let you, the public, vote on them to determine tonight's winner. And joining me tonight, we've got Greg the Dogleg Peterson. Welcome, Greg. Why do they call you the Dogleg?
Hooking everything left, Tom. Everything left.
Right you are, Greg.
I see what you did there.
I don't know. Oh, wow. Now I see what I did there, too. That's almost like we planned it. We're not that good, though. We're not that good.
No, we're not. This is live.
So, all right, here's the prompt for tonight. You ready? Well, first, let's actually take a look at the leaderboard. If you don't mind. So right now, as this is before we update the leaderboard, we've got Slice in a seemingly comfortable lead of 305 points. The Doctor and Champion are they're up there at 194 and 174. Sar Blue 7788 and June Baby, they're coming in pretty hot in 5th place and 4th and 5th place there, 165 and 140. So there's a lot on the line today for these players. And speaking of on the line, this is our current prompt for the day. Your sports team has a rematch against the defending champions that crushed you last time you played, and this time you have a secret weapon. What is it, and does it help you win this time around? So, what do you think of the prompt here, Greg? There's a lot of room for people to move, huh?
There is, in a very narrow sports context.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see the classic underdog story.
It does have... Yeah, sorry. Go on.
I got nothing. Take it away.
Yeah. No, it does have that setting sort of baked in of that plot setting device of we have a sporting event. So that's definitely some sort of scope that we expect to see here in the top 3. Let's get right to it, though. Our first one, we're going to go for Sar Blue 7788. They were in the top 3 last night and actually took home the crown. So we're going to start with their entry in the top 3 for today. A group of teenagers were huddled together next to the main event of the convention hall. The local esports competition was about to begin. Everyone understands the plan, right? The team captain, Thomas, looked around at his teammates. They all nodded, eyes narrowed and focused. All right then, let's do this. He put his hand in the middle, the rest followed. Rage quitters for life, they all cheered, and stepped up to the stage. Oh, look who it is. Team Quitters. You guys ready to lose again this year? Jacob, the team captain of Firing Squad, approached. We won't be losing this time. We improved since last time, and we have a weapon. Thomas crossed his arms as a slender girl stepped out from between the other teammates. She wore a tight-fitted shirt and shorts. Thomas knew the distraction part of the plan was working by the way Jacob stared at her for a moment too long. Jacob scoffed. Whatever. Adding a girl to your team just gives you a disadvantage. As he walked away, Thomas grinned. The plan went perfectly. Ashley was the best on their team. Better than him, even. He turned to face his team. Time to win this, guys. Whew. So here we go. We got teenagers at an esport convention center the captain of the Rage Quitters having a stare down with a rival captain, revealing his secret weapon, which is a double threat who knows how to game and looks good doing it, gambling on a classic machismo mindset, and then knowing that it's going to work. That's pretty tight.
Classic machismo, but then twisting with the gender expectations and the killer reversal. This Rage Quitters team, the secret weapon. I love so much of this. I loved the setting. I loved how it put it in a convention center. We really, this prompt really wanted you to see like green fields, right? And like football or soccer or something going on, a baseball field. It's like, no, this is 2021 esports. Esports is the next big thing, and we put it in an indoor convention hall. So already I want to shout out sort of the changing expectations. Second thing I noticed, these characters, it seemed like Rage Quitters for Life didn't seem angry enough at Jacob the Bully. If they really were trying to quit Rage, I feel like there should have been a subtle hint towards trying to go there and then like, no, we're Rage Quitters. But that's just a quibble. It's just a quibble. Really close reading this. I love the description of the eyes. I could picture this. All of the characters felt really real. A good mix of dialogue and description, which I'm always looking about. The plot itself with the secret weapon, and then let's go. I'm assuming that the girl in the t-shirt came and destroyed everyone. As Jacob, I don't remember the name, but Jacob's squad, the enemy squad,
The firing squad.
I feel like it would have been a little bit more satisfying to get some of that poetic justice delivered on the page. But hey, it's only one single page to do.
It's only one
but
page.
Very impressed.
Yeah. That was good. Let's see if this is a newcomer to the top three this week. Let's see if SAE 33 has what it takes to make a little bit smaller triangle than what we've already got up here. 2 minutes left on the clock. 1-1. It was a breathtaking redemption match for Brazil. 4 years had passed since that fateful match at the 2014 World Cup semifinals. The crowd was on edge, the players' muscles screaming for relief, and everyone's hearts were ablaze. The humiliation they had felt 4 years ago left a deep scar they had to carry all that time. 7-1. But no more. Today, Germany will lose. The whistle blew and the strikers were off. Brazil's Rafinha takes the ball and pushes onward with his three forwards. They blow past Germany's four forwards and come toe-to-toe with the midfielders. In a desperate attempt to keep their momentum, they pass the ball to Neymar. As the ball is racing to the attacker, Germany's Joshua Kimmich steals the ball. 140. The forwards all scramble to turn and catch their assailants, but Joshua's too quick. In the blink of an eye, he passes it to Leroy Sané, who immediately blazes a path forward. 130. Brazil's fans cry out in despair and cheer their heroes on to retake the advantage, but defender after defender is passed and Leroy is unchallenged until Thiago Silva takes the team captain, intercepts him, and steals the ball. 1 minute. Germany's players turn to defend, but it's at the moment they realize their mistake. Brazil had meant to let Leroy advance this far and had placed all their hope in their captain. There before them stand the entirety of Brazil's team, positioned to pass the ball seamlessly through their men. Diego to Lucas, Lucas to Fred, Fred to Neymar, Neymar to Rafinha. Germany's defenses were shattered by this all-out assault, betting it all on one man. 30 seconds. Rafinha pushes past the last defender. The crowd is standing and screaming. The goalkeeper prepares. 10 seconds. He shoots. Wow. Interesting piece of historical fiction here. For those who might not know, Germany did embarrass Brazil in the 2014 World Cup with a 7-1 victory. Among other things of that game, that was they scored the fastest 4 goals in World Cup history. They also ended up becoming the most scoringest country in World Cup history in that tournament, surpassing Brazil. It was very rough for Brazil. And so now we're coming back to a revenge matchup in 2018 that never was. So it's an interesting sort of setup here. And then we start with 2 minutes left, and basically Brazil traps Germany with the old rope-a-dope, lets an aggressive advance, pinned on the hopes of their captain stopping it, and then a flawless team execution, which then leads up to a shot that we'll never really know the result of.
My favorite part about this was the way the author described kind of the emotion rippling through the crowd. It was interesting as a perspective exercise because we didn't really get a viewpoint character like an eye. There was no kind of like one character here. It was just the crowd as mob. And then there were some really nice, like, there was some language here that was the despair, humiliation, really good emotional words. The fateful. It was also an interesting premise in terms of the setting. It was kind of based in historical realism, like you said. The context is in real life. There's it maps on to something that happened, but then the 4 years later, it was kind of like this realistic mode with incredibly precise like character last names. I'm not a soccer fan, but even I recognize some of the Diego and Neymar.
Right, and I'm sorry if I butchered those names, but it was great.
It kind of read like fan fiction. It was like fan fiction, but sports fiction, which might be an interesting adjacency for us to look into. I thought that I love the line today, Germany will lose. We didn't get inside the characters' heads very much. It was like we got it was very much like we were watching them. The one time we did, the muscles were screaming for relief. I guess we're presuming that. I thought the Diego to Lucas that was the highlight. That was my favorite sentence. The last names, I can hear an announcer saying that drew me in, and that was the kind of the final flourish of the plot when Brazil was going to take vengeance on this humiliating 2014 semifinal. Thank you, by the way, for the historical context. I had no idea.
It's just part of my job here. You know,
that's the kind of research you get here.
You can expect here on Story Squad.
Yeah.
Clash of the Pencils. Yeah. But so here's actually something interesting that you made me think about here is the character. What I really thought when I was reading it was like, even though there was no like character first person, I felt like I was at home watching the TV and feeling it as the fan. So it was almost like the like an unmentioned first person perspective, if you will.
It's interesting to think about what this would have been like if the first author would have done something like this and just reported on the video games. Like kill, one up, like I don't know if it would have been as readable. I felt like the one thing that saved this story and brought me in was the emotions of the crowd and feeling what it's like to watch and root, and the specificity of this gave me a lot of I lended a lot of authenticity and authority to this writer who knows what they're talking about. It was interesting. It was interesting. I can't say that though. I was totally gripped. I was totally gripped from how far away we were.
Right. I think kind of where this triangle has ended up makes a lot of sense. Where it was a very well balanced story, and if it just went a little bit deeper in any one of those or all three of those angles, it would start really honing in on that center of the bullseye. So speaking of, we've got one left, and it's from a perennial top three. I need a name for these top threes because I need some like synonyms.
Yeah,
but anyways,
podium,
perennial podium
stander, podium stander.
Well, I like the person, the 3 P's because that alliteration.
Oh, yeah.
So perennial podium person.
That's nice.
Anyways, Joanna Man.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a black hole that formed. At first, on space dust that got sucked into the ether. But then, more and more matter and antimatter got sucked into it too. It was like matter meeting antimatter for the first time. Boom! Slowly but surely, the entire universe began getting swallowed up. The planets and their moons went first, then stars and entire spiral galaxies. What was left was a singular being, a black hole, infinite in every dimension.
Oh, wow. So it seems like the strategy in Secret Weapon here was to create a black hole that then swallowed the entire universe, rendering an infinite dimensional entity, which therefore won the game. And that's a bold move, but looks like it might pay off.
I'm obsessed with this one. It's the avant-garde isn't dead, folks. It's right here. This must have the circular spiralness must have tickled Storybot 3000's fancy. I'm very curious to see how it's scored. I'm very curious to see how something as knowable as a sporting match between two fairly evenly matched side with a revenge thing has been extrapolated to a kind of cosmic dimension with both matter and antimatter seemingly having a sporting event like a soccer match that then spirals into the center here. And so if we want to go to the character, plot, and setting, I think the setting is my mind is blown. My mind is blown by both the combination of plot and setting here. I mean, it's fairly characterless. I don't see as matter and antimatter having anything. But I am obsessed with the ambition of trying to represent in such a small space, being able to tell such a story. In some ways, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Ring, but this is kind of like looking at The Ring. You remember it. You're changed. It might have magical powers that render you different in 1 week's time.
Right. I think you're right. I think the setting actually is the setting might be like right in, because like I was there. I saw it. I was in the middle of the universe in its destruction as it's getting pulled into this black hole. The plot, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little lost on the plot because I'm just I'm assuming that this was the strategy to win the game, and I love it. I love that idea of going that far where you're like, you know what, I'm not going to lose this game. I'm just going to destroy the universe. Like that's fair. That's a fair strategy. But like you said, since there was a lack of characters at all, can't really, and it makes me, makes me want to treat Storybot 3000 with just a little bit more reverence, because if it's picking up on spiral patterns, is it recognizing, is it more than just language now? Hey, it was a great.
The algorithms are clearly evolving. They're clearly evolving. Storybot is learning. When we keep feeding it things like this, it's only going to get smarter and able to process more. I think the ambition behind this might outweigh the abstraction from really any plot or characters. The experiment with form, that's sort of the way to my heart. This may have my vote. I thought it's a very nice range today if we consider all three stories. We get a very traditional realistic mode. We get a very interesting esports convention. And then whatever this is, and I think that the difficulty in categorizing it and how much we're struggling with these edge cases, because look, we're in the center of the triangle and we're at the absolute edge case of the triangle. Right. That's a feat.
And there might be something to that, where if you nail one of these right in the center, that can overpower having no character. Character. Well, at the very end, I guess you do get the dimensionless entity, but what does that even mean? Anyways, wow, yeah. So what do you say? What do you say we update the leaderboard and see what's going on with the latest, who won and all that sort of good stuff.
I have no idea where the internet's going on this one.
It could go, if we take a quick look back through the triangles, I mean, these two are fairly close to each other, the first two, and then the last one, like you just said, we have no idea what could be happening with that. So it's gonna, we'll just have to see. So we've updated. Let me hit refresh, and check in here first on the daily. Joanna Man. Wow. The internet the internet loves the avant-garde. SA33 in second place, and SAR Blue 7788 coming in third tonight. Meanwhile, Dragon Attack getting 99, Slice with 84. The Doctor is in with 48, Ash getting a 44, and Nancy Drew 15. Let's see how that translates to the week. Slice is still on top, but that lead is getting pretty close. Probably too close for comfort. At 389 on top, SAR Blue 7788, only 100 points behind, followed by the Doctor and Joanna Man, and then Champion Junie Baby and SA33 coming in with the 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Pencilvester, Nancy Drew, Dragon Attack, rounding out the top 10. On that note, you want to hit the top five sentences of the day?
Absolutely.
Then let's and then we'll go over the prompt for tomorrow. Top 5 sentences of the day. Number 5 coming in from Ash. After he ate, he was too full to move or to get out from the hollow tree. It was a lion that just should have knew when to stop eating.
We've all been in that tree, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's really relatable. I too have eaten too much until I can't get out of the hollow tree. Number 4, Joanna Man. It was like matter meeting antimatter for the first time. Boom. I mean, you can't get something better than the Big Bang, apparently. And
expressing the ineffable. Shout out Joanna Man, expressing the ineffable.
Just loving it. It's number 3, the Doctor. I was in quite a pickle, but this wasn't a baseball game. It wasn't even a jar of brine.
Wow.
So yeah, who knows what's happening with that guy. Number 2 from Slice. I took one big hit from Elbow Jenkins, one I'll regret in 40 years, but this was eternity. That was another epic tale from Slice.
Elbow. I just want to say, Slice. Elbow Jenkins is a fabulous name for a character.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like Elbow Jenkins, yeah. I want to stay away from that guy. I bet he's got sharp elbows. I don't know. It's And then the number 1 line from the night from SAE33. The crowd was on edge, the players' muscles screaming for relief, and everyone's hearts were ablaze. Just really getting in that, getting in the crowd of a revenge match that hopefully we'll see one day. Who knows?
I think Storybot 3000 loves those emotion words. I think those are very shrewd. Very shrewd.
Starting to really get into emotional, like it's a very visual machine. I mean, the more we've been on here, the better the images it produces for us gets. So, I don't know. There's something to it. But that's and let's check out the prompt for tomorrow real quick, and then we'll send everybody on our way. Write a story that includes a flying magic carpet.
Wow.
That's pretty open-ended.
It's almost like Nancy Drew yesterday from the top 3. Doesn't even need to do very much. There already was a magic carpet.
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't see that one coming.
I did not. Wild.
Maybe that was her superpower, is seeing into the future. That's...
So, yeah, there's a clubhouse leader, assuming that Nancy Drew submits. So, it's anyone's game. Is the margin of error? Is Slice is ahead at 389. Oh, but if you can get 165 per day, Blue has a chance. Let's see that math.
Let's see. Tomorrow's the last day, right? So, SAR Blue, if he gets 165, it's possible. I mean, you never know.
Man still has a puncher's chance. A first place plus a vote, and Slice goes offline. That's 400 points, I think.
It's always on the line. It's always on the line around here in Clash of the Pencils. So hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. And until then, stay safe out there on the paper.
Do you want to participate in the Clash of the Pencils and Story Squad universe? It's easy. Join us on Twitter or in our Discord server at Story Squad HQ. There's lots of ways to participate. Draw some fan art. Play our addictive game of jokes and masterstrokes, Word Hoax. Or join Greg's monthly book club. And as always, remember to pay your cat tax. Money, fame, and love can all be found here at Story Squad.